Hello everybody, hope you fine and safe. Okay, my name is Anna Kadarningsih. I'm a lecturer of Management Department, Faculty of Business and Economics, Universitas Dian Nuswantoro. Today I will give lesson about export-import and international trade. I'm teaching in international class of Management Department in Udinus. So what is international trade? International trade is trade conducted by a country with other countries on the basis of mutual trust and mutual benefit. So why trust? Why we need trust in international trade? Because we not meet each other. We far away. For example, Indonesia and Japan. We far away. So we not meet between a buyer and seller. So we need trust. We need belief. Okay, and the second way need benefit. This is trade. So it means trade must produce a profit, must provide added value. That's very important. So what the meaning of export and import? Export is the activity of selling goods or services legally from country to abroad. Otherwise, import is the activity of buying goods or services legally from abroad to domestic. So what is mean legally? Legally means that you must have license from government. How we get license? You must register to the trade ministry. There are so many forms that you must fill in to be a register for exporter and importer. Okay, the next please. So we can see the illustrate. This is Indonesia and Japan. Okay, Indonesia want to sell like a handicraft, maybe like a furniture from wood to Japan because Japan need that. But Japan also want to sell like machine, machine like make a noodle machine or maybe a paper machine. So this is when Indonesia sell handicraft. It means that export commodities. But when Indonesia buy machine from Japan, it means import commodities. Okay, next please. This is international trade model. For example, this is country A and this is country B. Country A have many goods, services that country B don't have it. So country A try to sell to country B. So this is, country A must sell and must pass the border line. It means must through the customs to sell to country B. Otherwise also country B want to sell to country A because country A don't have product or good or services from country B. So must through the custom or border line. Okay, the next please. So who the parties do export import? First is government. How? Government, for example, Indonesia have embassy in America, okay? But embassy in America need we can say a gamelan. Gamelan is not in English, so I say Indonesia gamelan. Because I want to show to American people, this is gamelan traditional music from Indonesia. So that's why government Indonesia must deliver or send a gamelan to America. So this is a do export. And the other was example, the government, Indonesia don't have a kangaroo, the animal. The kangaroo is original animal from Australia. So, but Indonesia need kangaroo to fill in the zoo. That's why Indonesia asked to government Australia to send a kangaroo to fill in the zoo in Indonesia. And the second parties is private companies. This is like maybe private companies like Jarum or maybe or like other company that makes a fabric. They need a silk. So that's why they need a material from other countries. So they import from China. This is private company. And then the third is household. House mean make micro, small, and medium enterprise or UMKM. So only in this the small link, a family business, they can do export import too. But remember, must need license. And the last party is International Trade Organization. For example, WTO, World Trade Organization, and then AFTA, ASEAN Free Trade Area.
Negara kita ini masih memerlukan sangat banyak dokter. Salah satu cara untuk melengkapi kebutuhan itu, maka pembukaan fakultas kedokteran perlu kita genjot dan optimalkan. Universitas Dianuswantoro selama ini sangat responsif menyikapi kebutuhan masyarakat. Dengan diluncurkannya Fakultas Kedokteran Udinus ini, semoga jadi salah satu pemicu energi untuk mewujudkan terpenuhinya layanan kesehatan untuk seluruh masyarakat. Sukses selalu ya.
Jadi rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul ini dibangun untuk mendampingi UMKM agar lebih dikenal di banyak kalangan masyarakat.
Salah satu dari 4 prioritas programnya adalah ekspor. Kemudian kami dapat tawaran dari PLN untuk mengikuti pameran di Pasar Senggol Turki. Untuk PLN kami menyampaikan yang pertama terima kasih atas kesempatannya selama ini. Jadi selama 2 tahun ini kami diajak untuk ikut pameran G20, kemudian kami diajak untuk kemarin pameran di Turki.
Kami berharap rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul binaan PT PLN Persero dapat menjadi wadah bagi UMKM di Yogyakarta dan sekitarnya. Rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul dari Yogyakarta untuk dunia.
Okay, why the international trade happen? What is the reasons? The first reason is resource differences. Okay, let me explain. For example, we don't have fruit from other countries like a kiwi. We don't have that, so we don't have resource about kiwi. That's why we import from Australia. Otherwise, Australia don't have durian, so that's why Australia buy durian from Indonesia. So that's a different resource. For example, too, rice. Many countries don't have a farm to make rice, to make a paddy like that. So Indonesia can export paddy or export rice to other countries because maybe they don't have a farm like that. Otherwise, Indonesia also can import from other countries. For example, like beef, maybe a beef, meat. Do you know? You can see at Superindo there is many beef or meat from overseas, usually from Australia, because they have a better quality than from Indonesia. Like that. And then the second is supply demand flow. What it meaning the supply demands? For example, Indonesia need a soy to make a tempe, but we know that many farmers don't plant soy plant. So that's why Indonesia import soy from Vietnam because the demand is very high, but Indonesia can provide the soy. Then the supply demand law. And then the third reason is appetite. Appetites very always change all the times. For example, now in the trend, Indonesia people like a Korea noodle or Korea ramen. So that's why many noodle from Korea import to our supermarket. But we can see also that in Japan, I ever see in Japan, there are supermarket and there are noodles too, Indofood, Indomie, and then mie sedap. So this is mean a change of appetite. Japanese people is boring with a ramen from Japan. Indonesia also boring the taste of noodle in Indonesia. So that's why we must change appetite. So that's why reason of international trade. And the last reason is price disparity. This is a different price. We know that soy from Vietnam is more cheaper than soy from Indonesia. Also about a milk. Milk from Australia is more cheaper than milk in Indonesia. Also Japan. Okay. Japan have many kind of fish, but Japan don't have fish like Indonesia have, like blunta, yeah, fish blunta fish. But this Indonesia not cooking this fish, but Japan can cooking this fish. So this is a price disparity. Okay, next. What is the benefit of international trade? First, obtain goods that cannot be produced in their own country. So, and the second, expand the market and increase profits. So it means we expand the market to international, not only national. So this is will be increase the profit of company in Indonesia. And then the third, benefit from specialization. The last benefit is modern technology transfer. This is very important because we cannot make a modern machine. We cannot make a technology like a financial technology. So that's why we must buy from other country like Germany or maybe Japan or maybe America.
Negara kita ini masih memerlukan sangat banyak dokter. Salah satu cara untuk melengkapi kebutuhan itu, maka pembukaan fakultas kedokteran perlu kita genjot dan optimalkan. Universitas Dian Nuswantoro selama ini sangat responsif menyikapi kebutuhan masyarakat. Dengan diluncurkannya Fakultas Kedokteran Udinus ini, semoga jadi salah satu pemicu energi untuk mewujudkan terpenuhinya layanan kesehatan untuk seluruh masyarakat. Sukses selalu ya.
Bapak Sukamto, seorang pedagang kaki lima. Setiap kali pulang dari berjualan, merasakan lutut dan pinggang beliau terasa sakit dan linu. Bahkan jari-jarinya juga sering mati rasa, hingga untuk menunaikan ibadah menjadi tidak khusyuk. Ketika Bapak Sukamto melihat iklan Healthic di TV, beliau coba menghubungi nomor yang tertera dan membelinya melalui pesan antar bayar di tempat atau COD. Healthic berisi 60 kapsul, terbuat dari bahan-bahan alami, sudah lolos verifikasi BPOM, serta bersertifikat halal. Kini beliau tidak takut lutut serta pinggangnya terasa sakit dan linu lagi. Dapatkan produk Healthic sekarang juga di apotik-apotik terdekat dan juga bisa pesan antar melalui nomor call center yang tertera. Nyeri sendi dan linu-linu, Healthic solusinya.
So this is a 7 point, the differences of domestic trade and with foreign trade. The first is freight cost. Domestic trade is very cheap. Foreign trade is expensive because we must deliver the goods with sea, yeah, with ship and with plane, okay. And then the second is distribution. The domestic trade distribution is very easier because only local to local, okay. By car is okay. And then foreign trade more harder because we need plane, we need ship and everything, we need document. And then the third is about taxes. So domestic trade, there is no taxes, but foreign trade need taxes. And then the fourth is transaction. Transaction domestic trade is very easier. Everybody can do that, but foreign trade, the transaction is very harder, very difficult. So need export to do this foreign trade. And then the five is the language. Language of interaction, Indonesia language used in domestic trade, but English used in foreign trade. And then the currency, Indonesia use rupiah, domestic, and then foreign trade use foreign currency. If you want to sell to Japan, you can use yen. If you want to sell to Hong Kong, you can use Hong Kong dollar. If you want to sell to America, you can use United States America. And then the last is trade location. Of course, domestic state located in this area here, and foreign is overseas. Okay, another country. Okay, the next please. Okay, and this is I want to explain about WTO, World Trade Organization version of trade system principle. First, no discrimination. So we cannot refuse. Okay, maybe we can say, oh, I don't like this country, so I don't want to do international trade with them. So that's not WTO principle. And the second is exchange of binding commitments. So we need to make a bond, the strong bond. I tell you about trust and belief can make a bond. This is very important because we not meet each other. And then reciprocal, this is like a feedback. So win-win solution. So cannot the other country, one country win, one country profit, and the other country is not profit. That's not good. So must win-win solution. And the last is transparent. So the trade is much clear. What is the price? What is the cost? What is the good? What the description of good and everything? There is insurance or not? So that's transparent. So everyone be happy. Next. Okay, the international trade policy. International trade policy are various action and regulation carried by a country, either directly or indirectly, which will affect the structure, composition, and direction of the country international trade. So this is very important because policy can affect the economic of state of country. So this is a big issue. And then policy are implemented with the aim of protecting the interests of the national economy, domestic industry, and employment, as well as maintaining national economic stability. Okay, the next. In foreign trade, the concept of protection means the government's effort to limit or reduce the amount of goods import from other countries in order to achieve the country's economic prosperity. So when we want to sell to other country, we do export. There is much limitation of the sum of export. We cannot export freely. Okay, this is the reason of trade limitation. First, keeping money at home, and second, protect our own domestic market. And the third, by equating domestic price with import price, it means we can achieve a scientific tariff. And then cheating opportunities in the domestic industry. And the last, reduce the trade balance deficit atau balance payment or BOP, break-even point. So thank you. That's all my lesson today about export-import. I hope you understand and clear with my presentation. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Hello everyone, everybody. I hope you fine and safe today. Okay, my name is Anna Kadarningsih. I'm a lecturer from Management Department, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Diponegoro Semarang. So today I will like to explain about my lesson, export-import documents. So the first thing I want to tell you about the EXIM documents classification. First is important documents, divided into two. One, transport documents, and then invoice, and then insurance documents. And the second is additional documents. So the next, please. So the important documents, we can see there is a transport documents. First is bill of lading or BL. What is the BL? BL is receipt of goods that have been loaded on the ship. Is a document as proof of ownership of the goods. So it's meant like, do you know in Indonesia like BPKB, if you have a car or maybe a motorcycle or maybe certificate, land certificate, like you have a house like that. That's same with a bill of lading. And there's the two types of bill of lading. First is receipt for shipment bill of lading. This type issue for goods to be loaded onto the ship. So when the goods go up to ship, they need a bill of lading. This shipment, yeah. And then the second bill of lading is shipment on board bill of lading. This is very important bill of lading because bill of lading issued for goods that have been loaded onto a certain ship, so not free, not many kind of ship, but certain ship. And then this is, you can see now, this is the example of bill of lading. So we just know that custom will issue this bill of lading. So there is no mistake. I explain to you, no mistake when you make bill of lading, because if you just mix one word on one letter, that can make your whole trading or export-import will delay. So that's not good. Next, please. The second transport documents is airway bill. Airway bill, it means that receipt of goods that sent by air, not by ship, but air. So airway bill is not the same with bill of lading. It's not the same. It's not an ownership document like bill of lading. Just a receipt. Okay. And this airway bill is only found in letter of credit, where the transportation of goods is start out by air. So everything sent by air, we need airway bill. So this is the example, the example about international airway bill. We can use OVIDEC and then UPS and DHL. That's the air company. that can send good to another country. Next. So the last transport documents is railway consignment note, only found in the transport of goods by rail or by train, known as the rail transport certificate. Include the name of the departure station, destination city, name and address of the exporter. So maybe you want to ask, how can we send to another country with train? Okay, Indonesia, we don't have train that connected Indonesia to Malaysia. No, we don't have that. Or maybe Indonesia to Australia. No, we don't have that. But in the Europe continental, there is many countries like Turkey, and then Spain, and then Italy, and France, and England. They can move, they can send by train. We can go to another country in the same Europe continental with train. But Indonesia, we cannot do this one because we don't have train connected to Indonesia to other country. Okay, next. So this is the example of railway.
Jadi rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul ini dibangun untuk mendampingi UMKM agar lebih dikenal di banyak kalangan masyarakat.
Salah satu dari 4 prioritas programnya adalah ekspor. Kemudian kami dapat tawaran dari PLN untuk mengikuti pameran di Pasar Senggol Turki. Untuk PLN kami menyampaikan yang pertama terima kasih atas kesempatannya selama ini. Jadi selama 2 tahun ini kami diajak untuk ikut pameran G20, kemudian kami diajak untuk kemarin pameran di Turki.
Kami berharap rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul binaan PT PLN Persero dapat menjadi wadah bagi UMKM di Yogyakarta dan sekitarnya. Rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul dari Yogyakarta untuk dunia.
Ready to glow with La Tulip Glow BB Cushion. Coveragenya begitu sempurna. Samarkan noda pada wajah, menjadikan kulit terlihat halus, lembab, dan selalu terlindungi. Tersedia dalam 3 pilihan warna untuk glowing natural sepanjang hari. La Tulip Glow Series.
Jadi rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul ini dibangun untuk mendampingi UMKM agar lebih dikenal di banyak kalangan masyarakat.
Salah satu dari 4 prioritas programnya adalah ekspor. Kemudian kami dapat tawaran dari PLN untuk mengikuti pameran di Pasar Senggol Turki. Untuk PLN kami menyampaikan yang pertama terima kasih atas kesempatannya selama ini. Jadi selama 2 tahun ini kami diajak untuk ikut pameran G20, kemudian kami diajak untuk kemarin pameran di Turki.
Kami berharap rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul binaan PT PLN Persero dapat menjadi wadah bagi UMKM di Yogyakarta dan sekitarnya. Rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul dari Yogyakarta untuk dunia.
Negara kita ini masih memerlukan sangat banyak dokter. Salah satu cara untuk melengkapi kebutuhan itu, maka pembukaan fakultas kedokteran perlu kita genjot dan optimalkan. Universitas Dian Nuswantoro selama ini sangat responsif menyikapi kebutuhan masyarakat. Dengan diluncurkannya Fakultas Kedokteran Udinus ini, semoga jadi salah satu pemicu energi untuk mewujudkan terpenuhinya layanan kesehatan untuk seluruh masyarakat. Sukses selalu ya.
Okay, the second document is invoice. What invoice? Invoice is an important document containing quantity, payment breakdown, unit price, and total price. So I think this is about the details of your order. For example, Indonesia, I'm exporter. Okay, I want to export to Japan. I want to export batik fabric Asian to Japan. So I make invoice. So invoice made by exporter, not importer. So I make invoice. I have detail how many price of unit batik, how much, terus how to make payment by transfer or maybe by PayPal. So this is invoice. We can put the details of our trading. So there are two types of invoice. First is pro forma invoice. Pro forma invoice is not the real invoice that we can use to international trade, but we need that. Pro forma invoice is an offer to a buyer to place a firm order. For example, I want to buy leather. I want to make boxing equipment. So I need leather. I need leather from Pakistan because Pakistan have very good leather. So I asked to Pakistan, how much leather? How much? So they say, okay, you can list your order, Mrs. Anna. So I list my order and I send to Pakistan. And Pakistan will break down how much the cost, how much the freight cost, how much insurance cost. And they will ask to me, this is Mr. Anna, this is all the cost that you must need to pay. Maybe it's about 5,000. So I can ask them, can you give me discount? This is pro forma, not the finally. Just a negotiation about the price and everything. But we need that. Usually used when payment of the price of good is made before shipment. So before shipment we make this one pro forma invoice. And then goods are exported before there is a definite trade contract. So this is just talking, but we need list, we need details. But this is not finally invoice. Next, this is the example of pro forma invoice. You can see that. And then this is the real invoice that we can use to sell or to buy products from other countries. So commercial invoice is details, memorandum regarding the type of goods, the price of goods, and other information related of the goods, including payment. Commercial invoices are made by exporter, addresses to buyers, importers, according to LC, our letter of credit. Next. Okay, this is the example of commercial invoice. You can see that this is Indonesia. So it means PT Hasil Alam Barokah exporter. So they make invoice, they want to sell furniture like table, chair, sofa to another country, to Mr. Tong, to Singapore. So PT Hasil Alam Barokah must make invoice to deliver to Singapore. Next. And then there are many types of invoice. First is consular invoice. What is consular invoice? Consul. Invoice issued by official agency, namely embassy and consulate. It means this invoice issued by government, not private company, not micro and small, medium enterprise, not international organization. This is only issued by government. I explained before that we want to send gamelan to Japan. Where? To consulate, to embassy, Indonesia embassy in Japan. So we need this insulate that Indonesia send gamelan to Japan. And then this consular invoice function, among other things, is to check the selling price of goods compared to market prices. Next. This is the example of consular invoice. tell you many times, only issued by government, not other parties. And then there are documents, insurance documents, but we must understand not every goods that we sell or we buy need insurance. Maybe only the fragile products. Okay, we need insurance. So what insurance policy? Insurance policy is proof of insurance contract for goods to be transported by ship. After we have insurance policy, we know insurance policy, the insurance company will issue cover note. What is cover note? Cover note is notification from insurance company stating that the goods are already insured while waiting for the certificate of insurance to be issued. So the first we must know about insurance policy, and then insurance company will issue cover note before they issue insurance certificate. Finally, when the good ready to send other country, so insurance company will issue insurance certificate. What is insurance certificate? A certificate stating that certain goods transport have been insured. I repeat again, not every goods sent to other countries needs insurance. Only the special good we need insurance. Next, this is a certificate of insurance.
Pengen makan enak dan gak ribet? Leleku Bumbu punya solusinya. Dibuat dari lele segar yang berkualitas, diolah dengan bumbu yang ciamik, dijamin bikin ketagihan. Ada lembu mandi di kali. Leleku Bumbu enak sekali.
Jadi rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul ini dibangun untuk mendampingi UMKM agar lebih dikenal di banyak kalangan masyarakat.
Salah satu dari 4 prioritas programnya adalah ekspor. Kemudian kami dapat tawaran dari PLN untuk mengikuti pameran di Pasar Senggol Turki. Untuk PLN kami menyampaikan yang pertama terima kasih atas kesempatannya selama ini. Jadi selama 2 tahun ini kami diajak untuk ikut pameran G20, kemudian kami diajak untuk kemarin pameran di Turki.
Kami berharap rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul binaan PT PLN Persero dapat menjadi wadah bagi UMKM di Yogyakarta dan sekitarnya. Rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul dari Yogyakarta untuk dunia.
Negara kita ini masih memerlukan sangat banyak dokter. Salah satu cara untuk melengkapi kebutuhan itu, maka pembukaan fakultas kedokteran perlu kita genjot dan optimalkan. Universitas Dian Nuswantoro selama ini sangat responsif menyikapi kebutuhan masyarakat. Dengan diluncurkannya Fakultas Kedokteran Udinus ini, semoga jadi salah satu pemicu energi untuk mewujudkan terpenuhinya layanan kesehatan untuk seluruh masyarakat. Sukses selalu ya.
Jadi rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul ini dibangun untuk mendampingi UMKM agar lebih dikenal di banyak kalangan masyarakat.
Salah satu dari 4 prioritas programnya adalah ekspor. Kemudian kami dapat tawaran dari PLN untuk mengikuti pameran di Pasar Senggol Turki. Untuk PLN kami menyampaikan yang pertama terima kasih atas kesempatannya selama ini. Jadi selama 2 tahun ini kami diajak untuk ikut pameran G20, kemudian kami diajak untuk kemarin pameran di Turki.
Kami berharap Rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul binaan PT PLN Persero dapat menjadi wadah bagi UMKM di Yogyakarta dan sekitarnya. Rumah BUMN Gunung Kidul dari Yogyakarta untuk dunia.
And then there are additional documents. I have 5 additional documents. First is packing list. Packing list is the same, almost the same with invoice, but no currency. So the different packing list invoice only in the currency. Packing list the document, the details of goods, and then the weight, the net weight, gross weight, like that, but without any currency value. And then there are certificate of origin. Not every goods needs certificate origin. What is certificate of origin or COO? COO is mean a statement letter issued by authorized agency, trade office, custom office, commercial department, and signed to prove and explain the country of origin of the goods. I repeat again, not every goods need COO or certificate of origin. For example, we know about USA apple. We can see at supermarket USA apple very red. So you can see that there is a sticker put on the apple USA. So this is need certificate of origin. For example, again, we want to buy a carpet, but a beautiful carpet like Aladdin carpet from another country. So we just want to know this is original or not. Okay. Next, we can see. Okay, this is the example packing list. You can see now there is no currency. There is no United States dollar. Everything just only net weight, gross weight, and then the total of unit. Next, and this is a certificate of origin. You see that, but I tell you, there not every goods needs certificate of origin. Only the goods, the original from this country. For example, batik. If we want to sell batik to another country, we need certificate of origin because batik is original from Indonesia. Next. And additional documents, the third is certificate of quality. What is certificate of quality? A certificate made by the Industrial Research and Development Agency containing the result of the analysis of goods from the laboratory. So a certificate of quality if we send like a medicine because we need proof from laboratory, or maybe we send the healthy care, maybe the healthy equipment. So we need certificate of quality because from laboratory. And then certificate of inspection. What is certificate of inspection? Certificate concerning the condition of the good, such as the quality, type, price of the goods, which is issued at the request of the exporter. So these documents only requested by exporter. If exporter not request, so don't make certificate of inspection. This is not mandatory. I tell you again, this is not mandatory. So depends on request of exporter. And then the last additional documents, manufacturer quality certification. It means a statement by the manufacturing stating that the goods are the result of their production and carry the trademark. It means that this is explained, they have trademark and this trademark is very famous, so need manufacturing quality certification. For example, maybe Indonesia want to import Levi's. Levi's is very famous around the world. So how we know that Levi's is original? How we know that this fabric, this manufacturing have a good quality of Levi's? How we know that this manufacturing is original, represent the Levi's? So we need the manufacturing quality certification. Next. This is a quality certificate. You can see now. This is carpet. So when we want to buy carpet from Kashmir, India, Kashmir is very beautiful country, and the carpet from Kashmir is very famous and very good quality around the world. So we need quality certificate because we don't want to get a fake goods. Okay, we want to have original, good, best quality from this carpet. Next. And this is certificate of inspection. This is only we issue if exporter require. If the export is not required, no need certificate of inspection. And the last is certificate high quality manufacturing. You see now that Jinhu color powder coating have high quality. So it's mean the trademark of powder coating made by Jinhu color is have a good quality and represent quality, world class quality. Okay, that's all our presentation today. I hope you enjoy my presentation. I hope you understand, and God bless you. Thank you so much.